Good afternoon, everybody. It's our Wednesday COVID special live stream. Happy Wednesday to everybody, July 8th. We're recovering from the 4th of July weekend. So far, so good. Everybody seems to be happy. We're still healthy. You would think that we told you at the very beginning when we started doing these live streams that business changes almost daily, and that is still continues to be true. And that's why we continue to have these live streams available for our public. The first update that I'd like to give you is that the town of Pagosa Springs, the town council last night, made a decision about mask requirement or not. So to mask or not to mask. Obviously, we are still encouraging everybody to wear facial coverings when at all possible. The town council made a decision not to require face masks, but to encourage face masks, as well as to support our businesses that do require people to wear facial covering upon entering your business. So if you as a business owner wants to require people to require face masks in your business, you have every right to do that. And you also have every right to refuse service to anybody that does not agree to your parameters of your business. It's kind of like the signs that we've seen: no shirt, no shoes, no service. It's no different. If they don't have a mask and you require that in your business, you have the right to refuse service. I've said over my 14-year history here, I've rarely seen a topic that has so polarized this business community. There are thought processes on both sides of the yardstick, and it's very difficult. But as a business owner, you need to protect your business and your employees in the best way that you feel possible. So the town will be coming up with some new signage indicating that they have passed this resolution, and not only to support our businesses in just facial coverings, but all the other standards that are required and are necessary to keep ourselves healthy. Social distancing, frequent hand washing, sanitizing surfaces, door handles, light switches, things like that on a regular basis. We should all be doing that as a regular part of our cleaning protocol now. So that will be coming out very soon from the town of Pagosa Springs. The other update that I would like to point out is that the PPP money, the Paycheck Protection Program, still has money available in that program, and businesses are still eligible to apply for those monies. Businesses have changed. Things have elongated. We've gone farther. We didn't start. We didn't open as quickly as we thought we would. So things have extended somewhat, and they have adjusted those dollars to accommodate that. So up until August 8th, businesses can still apply for PPP money, including nonprofit organizations. So I would recommend that you get with your banking industry and see if they're processing those forms. If not, then the SBDC does have, and the SBA do have a list of banks that are participating. So we want to encourage that as well. The other thing, speaking of PPP money, we did get some statistics, and we found out that through the PPP program originally, they have extended over $9.5 million here in Pagosa Springs. For those businesses that applied for monies under $150,000, they distributed over $9.5 million with about 1,300 jobs retained. Now, there were also about 15 businesses that applied for funding over $150,000. 15 businesses, that's a lot. And that retained an additional 1,000 jobs. So this money was very, very important to our community. And if your business has not been able to take advantage of this program and still is interested, reach out to your bank and find out if you can still apply for that. You'll need some documentation, which is pretty easy to come by because it's tax forms and utility bills and rent or mortgage. That's pretty accessible to you. So put that documentation together and make sure that you fill that out. That is open to you. The other thing that we've been talking about throughout this pandemic situation is how right now our nonprofit agencies are needing to pivot. They need to tell you it's a tough time. Not only are businesses losing and are struggling, but so are nonprofits, and their services continue, if not have increased. And so, most of, if not all of our fundraising opportunities have pretty much fallen by the wayside. So it's important that we as a community get out there and support our nonprofit agencies. Before our guest comes on, I'd like to remind everybody that this weekend on Saturday from 10 until 2, there will be a block party out in the country center right by, and since it's a block party, I'll mention a bunch of businesses. So Pagosa Massage and Body Works is going to be kind of hosting this thing. Chow Down will be there. Rosie's will be involved doing pizza special pizza from 10 until 2. Subway. You can get a dog washed. You can get a car washed. You can get your bike washed. You can pretty much get anything washed. So grab whatever vehicle you have and head out there. You know, one of these businesses opened their doors and had to close 3 days later. You know, we need to support these businesses. These are businesses. They're the lifeblood of our community. So reach out, find out more about what's going on, find out how you can participate in these block parties and some of these events. And with that, I would like to introduce our guest today, dear friend, great executive director. Unfortunately, Durango gets her most of the time, but I would like to welcome Brigham Wrinkle, who is the executive director for the Community Foundation serving Southwest Colorado. What a great job you all have been doing. You know, last year, Community Foundation was faced with the 416 fire. This year, when we thought it couldn't get any worse, it just kind of expands a little bit more. And Brigham, you know, your organization is doing so much. Could you take a few minutes to let people know what Community Foundation serving Southwest Colorado does? We do have an Archuleta County chapter, and what you're doing to help all 5 counties here in Archuleta County.
Right.
Welcome.
So thank you, Mary Jo, for letting me come on. That's a loaded and a big question, what you just asked. So I'm going to try and kind of chunk through some things. So Community Foundation serving Southwest Colorado is a community foundation that serves the 5 counties in Southwest Colorado. We do have a committee in Archuleta, and right now they have reimagined the 19th Hole concert series. So since we can't gather and it didn't seem appropriate to have those concerts, we have selected 4 nonprofits, and they are selling T-shirts with a logo on it that says Rise
and Recover.
I just had a complete brain freeze. But,
Rise and Recover.
Rise and Recover Pagosa Springs. And those T-shirts are available over there. You can go to Basin Tees /Rise. You can go to Southwest Coda, or you can talk to some of the nonprofits. They're selling them and they're raising money. So
I bought one.
Did you? I mean, they're
cute.
And there's yard signs, and there's those static cling that go on your doors. We've got those for sale, and it's just it's a nice way to really just say we're here, we're together, and we're going to make this happen. We're going to recover. So that's one piece of what we do. So basically, we do 3 things. We raise money from people in the community and make sure that they donate to nonprofits and they feel good about what they give. The purpose in that is that hopefully they'll continue to give and hopefully give more. We also work with nonprofits to provide professional development and capacity building. So one of the things that we're up to regarding this whole SURF COVID-19 is, let me just give you a recap. Let's see. So we have already provided $201,000 in stopgap funding to 32 organizations that are working during the public health crisis. These were really frontline nonprofits. Next week, we are awarding $175,000 to all the nonprofit. Anybody was able to apply, so you didn't have to be frontline. And this is supposed to be stability and recovery type funding. And we have earmarked $25,000 to go to Pagosa nonprofits.
Great.
And of that 25,000, we matched a town grant. So the city of Pagosa gave us 12,000 and we kicked in 13. So those nonprofits will get 25,000.
Nice.
In addition to those 5 or 6 organizations getting funded, which I can't release quite yet, Rise, your local nonprofit over there that's part of the block party you were just talking about, they are getting some capacity building. They're doing a planned giving with a coach for the next 3 months, and so is Cindy Galaboda over at the library. So those 2 organizations are getting that capacity building instead of the the cash grant, so that they are more prepared for what we anticipate to be another uptick in the fall.
Sure.
So we're just so excited to be working. We just got off the phone with the Archuleta committee with all the nonprofits at noon today. So that's sort of what we're up to. We're always trying to find creative ways to raise money and support the nonprofits in Archuleta, and it's been so easy with just the quality of work that the nonprofits in your community provide.
Mm-hmm. Well, all of them. And, we certainly will miss the 19th hole concert series. It's become a tradition. I think this is going to be our 4th year, third or 4th year. And so, we will certainly miss that. But again, the nonprofits are having to be very creative in how they extend their fundraising efforts because, we have a very short window of really good weather. And so most people use these summer months. But understandable, we know that with social distancing and just the sheer numbers that can be at an event, that is all changing. So it's fabulous that your organization is helping us out, as well as extending monies to these nonprofits that have to continue their services.
Right. So to put some perspective on it, Mary Jo, we just did a needs assessment for the nonprofits in the 5 counties. And we found out that $8 million is what's being lost in our 5 county nonprofits from lack of programming, events, fundraisers. $8 million.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've received a little over $2 million in COVID grants to support. Now I heard you say earlier in your show that you had numbers on PPP. I'm going to see if I can't find what those numbers are for nonprofits in the 5 counties to just shore up that, that number. But no matter what, we are going to still see a deficit. If you've lost 8 million, even if PPP came in at 2 million, there's still a whole backfill area. So while our grants, I'm sure, are so appreciated and necessary, but it's not everything. So if you're out there and you have means and you already contribute to a nonprofit, make sure you don't forget to write that check and support your local community, because they are our neighbors and they are making our community vibrant, and the services they provide are not provided by other sources.
Right.
We need our arts and culture, but we need our human services, our youth, our schools. So I'm really encouraging everybody to make sure that if you have means, make sure you're supporting the community through the nonprofits.
Great.
Sorry,
Great.
It's windy in my office. It's hot over here.
Well, Brigham, before we go off, anything else that you care to say about SURF or community foundations or anything else?
Well, I'd love to give a quick little report. It's probably in your paper this weekend over there in Pagosa, but we've raised $500,000 in our SURF fund. And so in the paper, we did just a quick community report because we want our community to know how we're spending our money so they feel good about it. So far, we've done that $201,000 in round 1 and 2 of grants, $175,000 in round 3. We've done $90,000 in food security, buying truckloads literally of food and getting it out to all 5 counties. $10,000 for a Save the Food, Feed the People, which did 600 prepared meals a week. We've purchased thermometers and other PPE that we've made available to the nonprofit sector. And then last but not least, we've done that southwestcoda.org, which is a website that's full of great information for businesses, for nonprofits and individuals. And that's also where you can find the t-shirts with
Great.
that Rise and Recover Together. And we just feel so proud that our communities have supported us and we've been able to turn around and support our neighbors.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, Brigham. We really appreciate you being our guest this week from Durango. We feel like you're just a part of Pagosa as well. So we're so thrilled that we have an Archuleta County coalition of the Community Foundation. So thank you again for your time. We appreciate it. Thank you, Brigham. Okay, everybody, we're going to wrap up our show, but one more reminder about the block party. And yes, funds from that, like the bike washing and the car washing and stuff like that, will be donated to Rise Above Violence. So that is their fundraiser. This upcoming weekend was their duathlon. So Pagosa Massage and Bodywork went to them and said, you know, how can we help? And again, here's an industry that was open 3 days before they had to shut down again. So let's turn around and show some support to these businesses who are struggling and who are continuing to be a part of this community and not thinking so much of themselves, but how can we help in our community? So let's show some support to them. Again, the block party 10 to 2. On Saturday over out at the Country Center. Don't forget all the other businesses involved, Rosie's and Chowdown and Verizon, I believe, and Subway, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody, the Hub. So just support and thank you. And remember, you can still apply for PPP funds. Check with your banker, make sure that happens, and be on the lookout for the new posters coming out from the town of Pagosa Springs. Of course, as I always mention, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact us at the Chamber. We'll be happy to speak with you about any of these matters. Our number here again is 264-2360. I'm so pleased to be continuing to have these live stream with you. I hope it's of service. Everybody have a great week out there. Thank you.